I'm continuing with this series of simple tactics. White to move in all positions. I'm doing it for 10 minutes. I find it's kind of it's motivating me to solve puzzles on a regular basis, and I get myself to focus for 10 minutes. White to move here. It seems like I could take on c5 and then take on d3. I don't really see what else is going on here. Takes. Yeah. So because of the pin, White just won the rook. This one was simple. Next one. Okay, the bishop is guarding the rook. Maybe I can distract the bishop. I could also play for something like this and try to win the bishop, but then he's gonna just take and give me a back rank checkmate with the rook. So that obviously doesn't work. I can maybe play bishop c4, but that doesn't do anything at all. I don't see much of tactics here going on. Oh. Mostly out of ideas here. Okay, I'll just move on to the next one. White to move here. So there's pressure on e6. And there's pressure on g7, maybe in some lines. It would be okay to take there. And I mean, I can win the queen by taking on e6, right? But that might be not enough. Well, but then I also get the rook, so... But then my queen is also attacked. So I guess the deal is that if I take... Oops. He takes, I take, he picks up the queen here as well. Oh, okay, so I take on e6 first, and then take on g7. But then he gets to take on g5. That's confusing. This knight becomes unprotected in some lines. And I can't really begin with knight to e6, because then he takes on h6 again. That's just the bummer all the time. What else? I mean, I have a d pawn that might be going forward pretty soon. Oh, I also have knight e4 suddenly. Pretty unexpectedly I have this tactic. And then queen to f4. And I don't really see a way for him to defend, so it has to be knight to e4. Yeah. If he goes king e5, then knight c5 is going to win the queen, so takes and queen f4. Nicely. These pawns are blocking any escape routes. So this one is solved. That's nice. So queen against two rooks. Okay, I think I get the idea here. I could start with a check and not sacrifice a rook. Check. King has to go to f8. And now I want to play rook to g8. But I can't, so I have to sack the rook on h8 first. Now that wins, yeah. This seems like a variation of something that I already solved. I just take on e6 and then bishop comes to g6 with a checkmate. It's double check. Takes, then checkmate. That one was simple. Well, this diagonal seems like it requires some attention, so I bet the line begins with knight to h7 and then queen to h5. Don't really see anything else, so let's try this. Check, takes, queen h5 probably. And so, I mean, I already get 2 pawns for the piece, and can he really run away? I guess he can go rook e8, and then there's bishop, so I'm gonna, well, I guess it just stops here, but I think the deal is that if here, then check, and when the king escapes, I get to throw in this move. And if he takes, then I give checkmate here or there. And I mean, this is not a good defense anyway. Rook e8, so I'm convinced that I solved this one. This knight here is really strong, so I can base an attack around this knight. And the idea is to bring the queen over to h3, so it has to be bishop h6 first, yeah, and now king takes, now queen to h3 and checkmate on h7. So this seems to be asking for some kind of check, but then he just takes. Do I have any other ideas here? I mean, there's also this check, but he can just go away. Doesn't seem to do much. Much more tempting to make rook to f8 work. And I mean, it doesn't work immediately, but is there a way to prepare it, I wonder? I mean, I don't really see a... yeah, and this isn't really a good idea either, because then he takes and the king can escape to g7. So I'm not entirely convinced on that. Knight to e5 doesn't seem to do much. How can I possibly distract this bishop? But the thing is, if it gets distracted, then... oh, I have an idea. I just have to pin it. Then he can't go away. And I'm not that scared of this check. I can just go away to f3, maybe. And I don't really see any defense whatsoever if that happens. So I just create a threat of this move by playing rook to h7. I don't see any defense. Let's try. Yeah, it's just a nice quiet move that just completely solves the problem, creating this threat. And because the bishop is pinned, he won't be able to capture. So this one has been solved. Be the last one for now. Okay. Wow, can I win the rook for free somehow? Yeah, I guess. I mean, this would be winning the rook, but I can use the fact that this rook is unprotected, and I mean this king is kind of loose here, and that the bishop is somewhat misplaced. Well, it depends on what the goal is, but I can play queen here, and if he takes with the rook, the pawn is going to promote. Pretty sure that's the answer. Let's try queen d7. He has to take, otherwise he drops the rook, and this is winning. Okay, so I solved a good chunk of positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Okay, let's see if I can do better next time.